From the Pasture by Hired Hand is presented by R3 Hilltop Ranch. Located in Chilton, Texas, R3 Hilltop Ranch has been breeding registered Texas Longhorns since 2006. What began as 3 heifers has grown into our current herd, which you can explore on our website at r3hilltop.com. We're passionate about loud colors, longhorns, and docile temperaments, but it's the easy-keeping, low-maintenance traits of Texas Longhorns that initially attracted us and continue to drive our herd growth. In addition to livestock, we proudly offer certified Longhorn beef products. Visit r3hilltop.com/beef to learn more. Thank you for listening and enjoy exploring our ranch online at r3hilltop.com.
Hi there, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast.
For 15 years now, we've been proudly helping breeders promote hundreds of thousands of pedigree livestock with our easy-to-use animal management-driven website software.
And let's not forget about Hired Hand Live, where over $1 million worth of livestock is sold online each year.
We're excited to bring you market trends, sales data, advice from your fellow breeders, and stories from the ranch.
Our software makes managing your website and your animals a breeze, so you can focus on what you love.
So let us handle your digital chores while you tune in to another episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand.
Today we're talking about the upcoming ITLA Championship Show, which is being held at the Expo in Glen Rose, Texas. Our guest, Gary Lake, will give us an inside look at the cattle and other details for the weekend. Be sure to visit hiredhandlive.com to view the consignments, get detailed information, and place your bids. Also take some time to check out the consigners' websites, powered by Hired Hand software, to learn more about their programs. If you're excited to hear more about the ITLA Champ Show, stay tuned. Gary and I will give you the full rundown. Well, good morning, Mr. Lake.
Good morning, Jamie. Good to be here.
How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I can't even believe you'd have to ask that.
Well, I was looking over the champ schedule, and you all have a jam-packed weekend coming out.
We do. We're looking forward to it. You know, in the past, conventions and cattle shows have tended to be just a little bit boring for anybody dropping by just to watch. People lead cattle in and out, and so what we've tried to do is really put some things together with quite a few vendors and some different entertainment aspects of it to make it exciting for folks. So we're gonna have a full week.
So you've been in Longhorns for just a couple of years now. You want to give a little history of your background?
I came to Colorado back in 1989, and that's not true. 1979. I've already lied to you once, and we just got started. Daryl Dickinson had a school on livestock photography, and I thought I wanted to be a livestock photographer. So I came out, went to the school in 1978, came back to work for him in 79, worked for Dickinson Cattle Company for 18 years, flying around the country photographing horses and cattle. And then we'd lost our ranch foreman, so I took over the outside operation. And for about 10 years, we ran about 800 head on 40,000 acres out here in Colorado. So I got to cowboy for a lot of years and got me into the Texas Longhorn business. I've been involved a little over 45 years now.
And then from Dickinson, you also most recently worked with Stan Searle, correct?
I have, yeah. After Daryl moved back to Ohio, he kind of wanted me to go with him, and I'd been in the Midwest. I knew what it was like and didn't want to go. So stuck around here in Colorado, did some other things, and Stan Searle and I became partners in Silverado Ranch, about 15 years ago now. And we still run a few head of Longhorn cows and do some custom home sales in an equestrian outfit, and try to dabble in a little bit of everything.
Well, let's talk about the ITLA.
I like it.
Can you give us a history of the Champ Show? Like how many years? I believe this is a pretty significant year for you. How many years has the Champ Show been around?
It is. Well, first of all, the International Texas Longhorn Association has been around for 35 years. And, of course, every year we have a championship show and convention where everybody meets and gets to make some decisions. One of the things about the ITLA is it's a completely membership-run organization. So the membership has a lot of say in everything that happens. Our first championship show was up in Missouri years and years ago. And From there on, it's moved around different places in the country, to Indiana and to Texas quite a bit, Oklahoma. And of course, this year we'll be in Glen Rose, Texas, which is our headquarters and the home of the ITLA. Our office is there.
It's kind of nice this year to have the show in the same location as the office.
It is very nice. We do have a little get together over at the office so that folks can see what the headquarters looks like. And we're one of the associations. We own our office free and clear, and the land was donated, and a lot of help putting the building up. It's a beautiful spot there in Glen Rose.
Well, let's talk about the show committee that you have for the Champ Show.
Sure. Well, our president, Brad Westmoreland, who is a lawyer down there in Texas, and was our president this year and will be again next year. Brad is a very energetic man that's also raises Texas Longhorn cattle, and he's got some daughters that show cattle and help us in the office and different things. Just a great family there at the Gang of Five Longhorns. He leads off the show committee with Larry Smith. And Larry Smith II is really one of the historic members of the Longhorn breed. I think he's a third generation now in the Texas Longhorn industry, and Larry's been involved in everything from showing cattle to his daddy donated some land for the building, and they've been a strong part of this. And so Larry's part of the show committee. And then I think Travis Casey does most of the cattle handling. Him and does some things, helps design the pins and things. Mr. John Oliver, who is a new member of the ITLA, has been a longtime member at TLBA and put on a lot of shows on that side of the house. And John is very experienced in the show industry, and so he's been a big help, he and his wife as well.
Who do you have this year for the show exhibitor?
Who do we have for the exhibitors? Well, we've got cattle coming from all over the country. We've got over 550 entries, I believe, right now, with a very strong halter and youth show, as well as 100 or more entries in the open show, the loose show. One thing about the Texas Longhorn industry is 40 years ago, all we did was show cattle loose. You couldn't bathe them, you couldn't brush them, you couldn't clip them. They were shown in pasture condition. They were all shown loose. The judges had to be horseback. The ring stewards had to be horseback, or the judge could be in a wagon. And it was a kind of a picture of the Old West. That's changed over the years, and now we have halter shows and youth halter shows and futurities, and all that will be combined in this convention and show. So you'll get to see a little bit of everything. But the loose show, which is on Wednesday, is one of the more exciting shows because everything comes in just like they are out in the pasture. Somebody brings them in, the judge walks through a bunch of cows with 80, 90, 100-inch horns. So it's a pretty exciting part of the show.
And for the people that are going to exhibit that weekend, they should contact Brenda Oliver. Is she their point of contact?
Well, Brenda is a point of contact, or they could contact the office, the ITLA office, and it's pretty easy to find us. ITLA.com is the site, and when you get there, there'll be a blurb right on the front page of we're having fun, or it says something like that. And if you click on it, it gives you all the contact information as well as the schedule for the show, and then if you want to become a sponsor, it's a little late in the game, but we never turn down money.
Well, you touched a little bit on Wednesday. What will happen? What happens on Tuesday? We'll back up a day.
Okay, so cattle start coming in on Tuesday. Since we have the loose cattle showing on Wednesday morning, most of those cattle will come in Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and that'll be a chance for them to get them in, get them settled, get some feed and water in them so they look good the next morning, and get the crews a good chance to get things organized in the back so that the show goes smoothly on Wednesday morning.
And what happens right away on Wednesday morning, because it's bright and early?
Well, bright and early on Wednesday morning, you're going to come down to the arena. We're going to have a little deal where the national anthem's sung and somebody opens in prayer, make sure that nobody gets killed during the show, and we like to hedge our bet anytime we can. And then we'll roll right into the loose cattle show which is going to be judged by Joel Dickinson of Dickinson Cattle Company. We have to find it's getting tough to find judges that don't want to bring cattle to show at the international show. So we pick guys that are as far away as Ohio and don't want to drive that far with cows in the trailer, and that way they don't have anybody in the show. But Joel's a great judge, one of our ITLA certified judges, and of course been in the industry as long as anybody. So it'll be a good show and a good judge.
So that starts at 8:00 on Wednesday morning. Then I believe you have something else going on in the afternoon.
I believe we do. And maybe I'll just look at that so that I don't tell you something wrong here. But on Wednesday afternoon, well, the interesting thing about Wednesday afternoon is we don't know how long that loose show is going to go, but they're going to get together with everybody from ring stewards to announcers to judges for the futurity and try to kind of line out how things are going to go the rest of the week. But Wednesday night, Glen Rose has very graciously offered. We were going to have a movie night in the park on Wednesday night and take a chance on a thunderstorm. But Glen Rose has very graciously offered the Rialto Theater there. I believe it's called the Rialto. It's a kind of a landmark movie theater there in Glen Rose. And we'll be showing an old Western movie, maybe Roy Rogers and Dale Evans or Lash LaRue or somebody. I'm not sure what the movie's going to be, but I guarantee it'll be a lot of fun. And it's one of the events we're trying to do something that'll be fun for folks other than just sit and watch cattle coming in and out of the arena. And I think it's going to be a pretty exciting time.
Watching our little town does the same thing with movies, out in the town center in a park. And it's always fun to do that. Get your blanket, throw it on the ground and watch a movie.
There's a lot of kids that come to the show as well. And they are always needing something to do. And half of them will be asleep by the time the movie's over. You drag them to the car, throw them in bed, and everything's good for the night.
So that wraps up Wednesday. Let's move on to Thursday. Again, you start at 8:00 on Thursday morning.
We do. We start again at 8:00 on Thursday morning with the All-Star Heifer Fraternity, the ITLA Heifer Fraternity. It is one of the last fraternities in the country prior to the NLFR finals there at the Millennium. So we're getting quite a few entries. We're well over 100 entries now of folks that want to finish out their point totals coming into the finals on the NLFR, the National Longhorn Fraternity Race. Maybe I should spell that out. And of course, you know as much about that as anybody, and that's an exciting deal. Over the years, the fraternities have really brought the breed into focus for young cattle. And because they are jackpot fraternities, they pay a little better money, and everything. It's a more exciting time. So to have one of the last fraternities before the NLFR final is it's kind of a neat deal. That goes on Thursday morning, first thing, and it'll take a few hours, and there'll be a Calcutta along with it. So if you're not showing one but you want to get involved, you can come bet and bid on them a little bit and maybe win yourself a little money, or at least have a lot of fun doing it.
How many classes do you have in the fraternity this year?
I believe we have 11 heifer classes and 7 bull classes.
Do you know how many entries total?
I don't know exactly the number total because they're still coming in. I think it was 117 the last time I looked. But we are taking some late entries to the fraternity. So if you haven't gotten in, contact the office. We can probably still get you in late. I mean, you've been around some of these fraternities, and they're kind of exciting times. They got some giveaways. We have a extraordinary auctioneer coming this year. I don't know if you know him. His name is Dan Huntington, and Huntington is he not only sells the Calcutta well and works well with me, who gets to be the announcer for the fraternity. We're like a 2-man comedy team up there, and it's so it's kind of a neat deal. And he tells his stupid cow jokes, or whatever he calls them, silly cow jokes, whatever they are. keeps the audience on their toes. And so the fraternity is kind of a neat time for everybody.
Who are you having for judges this year?
This year for judges, and I will look at the list so that I don't get this wrong, Joel Dickinson will be one of our fraternity judges. Well, one of the nice parts is we've been able to have some of the folks that are actually coming anyway to the show as fraternity judges. Liz Huntsberry, who has been in the industry for years and years, Liz Huntsberry Forsham, she is now. She's remarried, living up in Wyoming, will be one of our judges. Nick Nicodem from Kansas will be one of our judges as well. Nick and his wife have been in the industry for years. Doug Burris, who is the cattle foreman for Dickinson Cattle Company in Ohio, does a great job of judging any direction. And then also, Alyssa Butler will be judging, and she is our president of our youth association. And she's a great young lady and has got a great eye for cattle, and we're trying to get some of the young people involved in the deal. And of course, your fraternity is a little different than a show judge where you just have one judge and he gets to make all the decisions. With a 5-judge panel, there's 5 judges that'll all score your heifers, and the high and low score will be thrown out so that we don't have any extremes. We'll take the average of the 3 scores, and the absolute best animals rise to the top. It's really a neat program.
So what happens after the fraternity?
Right after the fraternity on Thursday, they have what's called a ladies' shopping excursion. Now, I'm not entirely sure why I understand it's just ladies. I mean, we like to shop too. We shop for different things, but we shop for cheesecake and a new set of tools and maybe some oil filter for the truck. But I don't know why we couldn't be part of that as well. But there is a shopping binge through the city of Glen Rose that starts at 11 a.m. is what they say, and goes through the afternoon. And then after that, about 5 o'clock that evening, we start with some hors d'oeuvres and a little get together time, and that'll lead up to the fraternity awards, and then it gets really exciting because after those fraternity awards, you get to jump in, and we'll have Elite Heifer Sale.
So you're having the fraternity awards and then the sale after the awards.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to blow through the awards in a hurry. Don't worry. I know what you're thinking. Oh, my word, I'm going to have to sit through those fraternity awards. They'll kind of go in a hurry. We'll say, you win, here's your check, hurry, run up here and grab it. We'll get right. We want people to have their money from the fraternity to spend on the heifer sale.
I get it. So we'll just make sure that we start as close as possible to 6 p.m. for those people joining online for the sale. Okay, perfect. And I believe that there's still one more thing that you have going on Thursday.
You think we do, huh?
I do, yeah.
Yes, we have a youth judging contest. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there will be a youth judging contest that evening. And again, our young people are the future of our breed. That's where we're going. Eventually, you and I, me probably before you, but still, will run out of energy, and somebody's going to take our spot. And so we want to get these kids involved in every way we can. Megan Minchow has taken over the youth this year, and she's done an amazing, absolutely amazing job with the young people and getting them involved in a little bit of everything. And one of those things is they'll start doing some judging as a youth team and really learning how the process works.
So now we'll move on to Friday.
Okay.
Again, on Friday morning, we start at 8 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. That will be the haltered show. As I said earlier, it didn't used to be that we showed longhorns at halter, but today we do that, and they'll be bathed and clipped and shined and kissed on and have their halters shined up. And, so the halter show will be one of the bigger shows over the weekend. I'm going to say there's like 170 entries, I think, in the halter show now. It's especially if you've not been around the Longhorn community, to see somebody lead a cow or a steer in with 80, 90-inch horns, or a steer that weighs over a ton and is over 105, 110 inches tip to tip. It's pretty interesting. You think surely somebody's going to get killed, and if you go to a rodeo, the crowd always hangs around for the bull ride because there's always a chance that somebody will get killed. And you've got a guy leading a 100-inch horn steer, and there's always a chance somebody will get knocked down. So we draw more of a crowd for the different, don't you?
And then after the haltered show, what do you have next on the schedule?
And the schedule next after the haltered show is there's some other things going on Friday as well, and they kind of somewhat go on concurrently. There is an international photo contest, so we have folks around the world showing raising and showing Texas Longhorn cattle in Austria, in Australia, in New Zealand, and these folks, of course, can't get on a boat and get here for the international show. So we have an international photo contest, and they take photos and videos of their animals and send them in, and we'll have a judge. I believe Judge June Corrin will be judging that. And they'll go through these photos and judge these international cows that can't get here, and there'll be some special awards for that as well. So that's kind of a neat deal to keep our folks around the world involved in what we're doing. And then, gosh, there's a youth speech contest going on that afternoon. There will be some seminars. I personally will be doing a seminar on photography, livestock photography, and specifically how to promote your cattle to their best advantage. And so we're going to be doing some other things until later in the afternoon. We've got some affiliate meetings. There will be at 3:30 in the afternoon. There will be an adult showmanship contest. Now, if you're familiar with showmanship, young people are judged in the showmanship class on how they handle cattle and how they handle themselves and how they portray in front of a judge. And it's a big deal in youth. And showmanship points are very important. Adults do not do showmanship. They're way above that. And so by the time you're grown, you've forgotten completely how to hold your stick and how to watch a judge. And so what the youth are doing, they're having a little fundraiser, and all the money for the entries into the adult showmanship class go to the youth fund. And it'll be a comedy of errors, to say the least. There'll be a judge that just tries to stay out of the way and not get run over in the adult showmanship class. So that'll be kind of a fun deal in the afternoon.
Do you know who's going to be the judge for the adult showman contest?
I right off the top of my head, I do not, and I apologize for that. Are
you having kid judges? I assume
probably something I should know, but I don't know the answer to that. That'll be a surprise. That's one of the surprises. If you want to come to the convention and find out, at the last minute, we can't divulge all this information, or there's just no mystery involved.
Fair. So are you going to participate in the adult showman contest?
I am probably will be AWOL at that point. Maybe, it's not impossible, but I'm not taking cattle down myself from Colorado. So I won't be having anything. And just to be honest with you, anything that I would put on a halter and turn loose in the arena would probably just drag me around the arena. I'm not much of I'm kind of the old-fashioned Texas Longhorn guy that likes to just turn them in loose and let some judge horseback try to stay out of the way.
All right. Well, you end Friday night with a bang.
We do end Friday night with a bang. Nice. This is something that's never been done, but the city of Glen Rose and this event center now here at Glen Rose has had a major overhaul, and they've put millions of dollars into this event center to upgrade it, as well as they have an outdoor venue, which is a concert venue. And in conjunction with the event center, the city of Glen Rose, and the ITLA, we have put together a concert with a Sleep at the Wheel. And they are on tour around the country again this year. And of course, they have been the premier Texas swing band of the century, really. They've cut album after album and sold millions of records, and one of the exciting swing bands in Texas. And they are going to be in concert that night, as well as they'll have a fellow that's backing them up. And, right off the top of my head, I can't remember his name, but I've listened to a little bit of his music, and he's excellent as well. So there's going to be some great country music that evening. His name is, I don't know what his name is. It went away. Anyway, he's a very up and coming country music singer, and then Asleep at Wheel after that with the Texas swing and the great fiddle music. And so it's going to be pretty exciting. You can check in with the office to get some tickets purchased for Asleep at the Wheel. Don't wait too late because it will sell out. It's going to be a neat program.
So if there still are tickets available at the door, they're available for purchase, but you suggest calling the office ahead of time to get your tickets.
Yep. You can call in ahead of time if you're needing tickets, or we can get them right at the door. But they will be there at what's called the Texas Amphitheater, and that is part of the venue there as well.
Now let's move on to Saturday. Again, you're starting at 8 a.m. with the Champ Youth Show.
Yep. So again, we've got probably 150, 160 entries in the youth halter show. And so it's that's a lot of fun to see the young people show as well. We'll have some seminars going on throughout the day. I think Craig Perez is doing a seminar in the banquet hall during the day. So there'll be some other things to do. Plus, I haven't mentioned it, but we have quite a few vendors that will be there this year. So there'll be a lot of browsing around to do. When you get tired of watching the show for a little bit, you can go shop a little bit, go grab a bite to eat. There'll be some food vendors on the ground, and come back and sit down and watch the young people show.
It looks like another seminar happens later in the day on Saturday as well.
It does. Like I said, Craig Perez will be putting on a seminar, and Craig, of course, is one of the fellows in the industry that has put together a lot of data on horn measuring and semen sales and pedigrees. He's really a student of Longhorn pedigrees, as well as he's pretty technical, way more than me. He's kind of between me and you here somewhere. He's not as bright as you are, but he's not as dumb as I am. So there's a lot of great things that Craig will be able to talk about during the seminar, and he'll put on a good one, I promise you.
And it seems there's a meeting after Craig's seminar.
There is. So here's the thing about ITLA, about any organization really. The annual convention really is supposed to be a get together of the membership where they can make some decisions, talk about things that's going on during the year, things that they like the association's doing, things they don't like, and get together and start to form some a plan for some change or to continue on with the things we're doing well. But convention can get pretty boring, so we add cattle shows to it, concerts to it. I think we got a cornhole contest, the movie night, some things that people can get excited about. So it's more like a vacation, really, than it is just a convention. But the important part is the general membership gets to meet, and the mission of the International Texas Longhorn Association for 35 years has been that it is a member-run organization. The board, the president, the board, any individual members don't make the decisions for the International Texas Longhorn Association. The membership does. So at the membership meeting, they can bring up some concerns. They vote on issues that the membership all has to vote on, and we get some business done, and that'll happen that evening.
So that happens at 2:30, I believe. And do you know the location? Is it in the same area where the seminars will be happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it's at the same location that the the seminars you're in, which is the bank.
And then you finish out Saturday evening with another live band, social hour, and then the awards as well.
Right. So during the course of the week, we will crown some world champions, some international champions. And then there are also 3 annual awards that are given away for one is for promotion for someone that does the job promoting Texas Longhorn cattle. Some is for breeder of the year, and then I think maybe a lifetime breeder award and some different things, as well as all the awards from the shows, and that all goes on that evening, as well as a banquet, as always, and we will have live entertainment that evening as well.
And Sunday, what time do you need all the cattle loaded out?
Well, like most places, there is some leeway on that. We'd like everybody out by noon so they can start tearing down and getting cleaned up, and the event venue has got to get ready for the next big thing. So they'll start shipping cattle out, anything that doesn't leave Saturday night possibly. And people come and go. The fraternity cattle will come in and leave fairly quickly because they'll be off to somewhere else. And so there'll be some coming and going. But the last of the cattle will leave on Sunday morning and try to get everybody out by Sunday noon. And there will be some leeway on that for certain circumstances.
And now let's hear from our advertisers.
Looking for top quality Longhorns and a taste of true Texas spirit? Look no further than Cantera Cattle Company. Our passion for Longhorns shines at Old Gringo Ranch, where tradition meets excellence. Visit us online at CanteraCattleCompany.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates and ranch life fun. Ready to experience it yourself? Schedule your visit by emailing CanteraCattle@gmail.com. Remember, God is great, Longhorns are good, and life is crazy.
Are you a new Longhorn breeder eager to educate yourself on market trends and sale prices? Stay in the loop with our text messages. Get the latest updates, events, and insider tips on all things Longhorns delivered straight to your phone.
Stay informed by texting website to 888-700-8131, then reply with Longhorns. That's website to 888-700-8131. Sign up today and take your breeding program to the next level.
Do you sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out? Rural life can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be.
Welcome to Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, the podcast for women who are craving connection, laughter, solidarity, camaraderie, and just overall encouragement in your everyday life and dreams.
Each week, your hosts, Annalise, that's me, and Courtney will cover topics such as farm life, mom life, making money online, side hustles, hobbies, sharing on social media, jobs off the farm, and so much more.
Us rural gals need to stick together, so saddle up for some fun, real, and unsolicited advice and stories from our everyday farm lives.
Grab a drink, we're Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, and we're here to help. Listen wherever you find podcasts.
When it comes to buying and selling livestock, trust is everything. At Hired Hand Live, we have a platform that breeders and buyers rely on, whether participating in a live auction, an internet-only event, or hosting their own online auction. Our secure, user-friendly system ensures that your bid counts, and every transaction is backed by our commitment to integrity.
Whether you're a part of a consignment sale or planning your own internet auction, Hired Hand Live connects breeders and buyers live and online. Discover why breeders trust us with their livestock auctions. Visit hiredhandlive.com today.
Well, we went over the schedule of events, so let's back up to Thursday evening and let's talk about the sale.
Okay. All right. I like that.
All right. Who are the sale day contacts, should someone have questions?
Well, let's see if they actually list a contact on here. That's interesting. I would say that for a sale day contact, they could either contact Dan Huntington, who is the auctioneer, or what is that girl's name? Jamie Feldman with Hired Hand Live, because she'll be the one that will actually be drawing all the bids for us on. We got to tell you, you have changed the face of the industry. You and Molly with Hired Hand Live. It's we thought when you first started doing this, it's those silly girls, this will go away in no time. But instead, it's become something that no sale can live without anymore and survive, because we have folks all over the world and all over the country that absolutely cannot be at every event. But when you are with things, whether it's a podcast or live online, you draw folks that we couldn't touch from anywhere, as well as your amazing job of promotion. So I would say that you might be one of the contacts, or at least contact you through Hired Hand Live. Is that best by email or?
Yeah. Yep. Nope. They can either email, they can call, or text. Our phone numbers are out there on Hired Hand Live for anyone to reach out if they have questions with any of the animals, with bidding, hauling, any of it.
Sure. And we will have some haulers. I think Wes will be there probably. And if you're coming back this way, Freeman Jarnigan Partnership will be hauling some cattle down, and they'll be probably not full going back. I think Travis Casey will probably be hauling a big trailer down. Probably could haul some cattle this direction. So there'll be plenty of folks moving around that could do some hauling. They can check at the show. If they want to contact the office, if they have any questions about these heifers or bulls that are in the sale, they're welcome to contact the office. And on sale day, the office phone will be forwarded to somebody's cell phone there on site. So they will be able to get in contact that way as well.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you are going to be announcing at the futurity. Will we also get to hear you announce or be the pedigree reader at the sale?
I will be the pedigree reader at the sale. Between Chase Vassar and Dale and myself, I'm third on the list, but I'm the cheapest of them. So I rise to the top for these donation events. No, it's a lot of fun. We got a handful of them, and I have quite a few things to do at convention. But really, working with Dan, working with Dan is just fun, and so I get a kick out of that. And we'll be reading pedigrees and running banter at the sale.
Well, you mentioned that this sale is a donation sale. Where do the donations go?
Okay, so about maybe 10 or 11 years ago, as any association, especially when you have two livestock associations, there's always some competition, and somebody always struggles a little bit. And ITLA was looking for a way to bolster the bank account a little bit, and so we start asking for donation heifers to run through and put money back into ITLA to be spent on everything from youth to shows to better cattle registry to the things that we do every day. And it works so well that instead of it being just a one-time thing to kind of boost the bank account, we have gone on every year with this, and every year we've gotten better and better consignments. And folks leave, you've been there in the past, and you know that they're not always the highest dollar animals that are sold in the industry, but there's some very high quality animals. And a lot of times folks buy those at a reasonable price. Might be their first Longhorn they ever buy, get involved in the industry, and 5 years later, they've got 30 head in their front pasture. So it's a great way to get involved in the industry. And if you're looking for some show cattle, some of these heifers are halter broke and ready to go. If you got some young people that are looking for a heifer to show, or you're wanting to hit a futurity, there's some high quality heifers in the sale.
Do you want to talk about the ranches that donated an animal for the sale?
Yeah, and there's several in the. But one of them is Mike and Jamie Tommy, who Mike was 2 or 3 time president of ITLA and one of our more active presidents in the past. Really did a great job for ITLA. He also raises some great cattle there in Indiana. So he's got a consignment in. Of course, Joel and Misty Dickinson of Dickinson Cattle Company in Ohio. Joel's got a couple of really nice heifers in the sale. And these folks, Diamond B Cattle Company from Amarillo, Texas. And Diamond B, of course, owns the great Silent Iron cow and the cut and dried bull. And they're a high end operation. And Cullen has donated a nice heifer as well. All these folks realize that their association is important and the health of their association is important. And instead of just giving a throwaway, something that they don't want to deal with or something they're just going to rope or eat, they donate some quality heifers, something that will bring a little money, do the association some good, and do them some good down the road. Somebody buys that heifer from them, really likes it, they're much more likely to come back to that outfit when they want their next one. So a lot of great things about the donation heifer sale, beyond just the fact that it actually puts some money in ITLA's bank account to do some of the great things we do for our breeders.
Well, do you care if I give a little shout out to the other people that donated?
Absolutely. Run through the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have Tom and Amy Buxton.
Yep.
Weston Amanda Evans.
Yes.
Justin and Rhonda Sabio.
Yes.
Russell and Jamie Freeman. John and Brenda Oliver. Gang of Five. And then Crown Creek.
Yep.
Who also donated.
Yep. That's exactly right. And all of them can be found sooner than later. I think you'll have the catalog online, and I'm sure that it will also be posted on the ITLA website as soon as everything's done today, and people can go out and look at some of these nice heifers and the folks that were very gracious to donate them.
Well, Gary, at this point in the podcast, we like to play a little game of catalog roulette. I will randomly pick an animal from the catalog, and then you can tell us what you know about it. All right, here we go. We'll start with lot 3 from John and Brenda Oliver. OL Bout Time.
Okay. Well, and of course, folks can't see what we're seeing yet, but this is a beautiful, beautiful paint red and white heifer with that low, flat horn that everybody's looking for. And she is an own daughter of the great Overkill bull. And, Overkill, maybe we think of him as a bull that's been kind of passed by in the industry at this point because, the genetics of these herd sires exponentially grows quickly in this industry. But Overkill not only was a legitimate sire of black and white, but that tight, twisty horn that was so prominent in the Burton Stockton herd. And so to come back to some of these foundation genetics, it's difficult sometimes to buy one of these new hybrid heifers and then find somebody to breed her to that she's really not related to very closely. But when you get a daughter like an Overkill daughter, now you're wide open for some of these bighorn genetic bulls as far as who you can breed to. So a great donation lot, a pretty heifer. They're going to like her when they look at her. But this type of a pedigree really can do some good in your program.
The next one we'll talk about is lot 5 from Mike and Jamie Tomey. Tux's Soft of a Drop.
Yeah. And again, unfortunately, folks can't see this heifer, but she is a wild colored brindle heifer, and she's a very young heifer and not exposed to anybody. So she's ready to go to whoever you've got at home. But her dam Drop Softly was a drop box starter. Drop Box has been one of the premier sires at Dickinson Cattle Company over the last few years. And then the bull that Mike and Jamie own, Tuxedo, the great black and white bull, is her sire. And so this heifer's got all kind of potential, and she is really an eye catcher when you take a look at her. You'll get to see her here as soon as the catalog's out.
The next one we'll talk about is lot 6 from a fellow Coloradoan?
Yeah.
Russell and Jamie Freeman. The animal's name is Tough Utopia.
Okay, well, Russ Freeman is our I've known Russ since he was born, I guess. That long in life, grew up out here and has quite a program. And he and Jarnigan's have a partnership on some really top end cattle. Russ has a beautiful ranch down in Kim, Colorado, down in that canyon country, and just gorgeous, gorgeous country. But he's thrown his heart and soul into the Texas Longhorn industry over the last 15 years. Russ is our immediate past president of the International Texas Longhorn Association. And this fancy red and white lineback heifer has got a bunch of horn growth right now. And her sire is just as tough, which of course goes back to the great Cowboy Tough Checks, the premier bull in the breed still.
Next up is Lot 7 from Joel and Misty Dickinson. Roustabout.
Sure. And again, I wish everybody could see these, but this is a really dark brown brindle speckled heifer. And her sire was Tough Cowboy. So again, you've got that Cowboy Tough Checks there, and she goes back on the dam side to Dragon Smile, which is alleged in the breed now, and anywhere you go, Dragon Smile shows up in some of the great bighorn pedigrees. So another great consignment, and comes from maybe one of the most prolific programs in the industry, Dickinson Cattle Company.
Now we'll talk about Diamond B's Lot 9, DB Annie.
Sure. Well, Diamond B Cattle Company, they are fairly new. Benny Brugman is fairly new in the industry, but when he got in, he went out and bought 6 or 8 of the top females in the industry, including the great Silent Iron Cow, who has been one of the biggest horned females and biggest bodied females in the industry, as well as the show winner everywhere. And then to complement that, bought the great Cut and Dried bull. And you know what he's done if you've been at some of the futurities. Cut and Dried offspring have been very prominent on the futurity circuit. So that's the type of program that Brugmans have down there at Diamond B Cattle Company. And so this heifer is a product of that program. And seriously, if you're looking for some of the really beautiful bighorn genetics and big-bodied females, this one's going to be one of them, beautiful red and white heifer.
And the last animal that we'll talk about in our game of catalog roulette is Lot 12. Typically, you've had heifers in the past, but this year a little bull snuck in.
It's a bull?
I think so, yeah.
It's a bull? This is a heifer sale. Okay. All right. Well, I was just about to talk about the productivity of this heifer and how she was going to produce you some great calves over the next few years. And now you've ruined my whole line. I'm going to have to go back to something more real.
Sorry. You can do it.
So this year, Colin called us and said, hey, I've got this bull. What do you think? So Joel, Ian, Colin are good friends. He said, hey, we'll try it and see. There is a small percentage of the bulls every year that really have the pedigree, the look, everything they need to be a quality herd sire, be able to reproduce consistently over the years. This young bull they put in is an absolutely beautiful young brindle bull with a strong pedigree of bighorn cattle, big-bodied cattle. Well, you know what happened to the Legends fraternity last week? Bring a nice bull, he wins the Legends, you go home with a brand new trailer. And or maybe you end up reserve and you take a P&T shoot home or whatever. It's gotten very important to win fraternities. And this is a young bull that could very well be a fraternity winner down the road. So we're pretty excited about little brother. So we now have a heifer fraternity and a heifer's little brother fraternity.
Perfect. Well, we talked about the people who generously donated to this sale, and I know you have other sponsors for the entire weekend. Do you want to touch on some of them?
We do, and I honestly, unfortunately, I don't have a list right in front of me of all the great sponsors, but we have some really high-end sponsors like HW Corporation, and they've for the last 2 years, HW and if you've been in anybody's pasture, you've seen the HW logo on their water tanks or their panels. And they're one of the premier sales of livestock equipment throughout the country, and they've been a very important sponsor of the international show for the last couple of years, as well as they're a big sponsor at our Denver National Western show as well. So they are one of our premier sponsors. And then we've got ranches from around the ITLA that sponsor. There's the city of Glen Rose has done some amazing things for us. I mean, they've jumped through hoops to make things happen. One of the things that I didn't tell you about, and I need to, is Wednesday at 6 p.m., we are going to do a Longhorn cattle drive around the square in Glen Rose. So we will have some loose cattle and a few cowboys that we hope can not fall off their horses. And Larry Smith will be bringing some fancy animals, steers and cows to the deal, doing an old-fashioned Texas Longhorn trail drive around the square at Glen Rose. And so the city of Glen Rose has really bent over backwards for us. And the venue here has really done everything they can to make us feel at home and to put on a whopping show. So we've got a lot of great sponsors. We'll have some sponsorship lists, and they'll all be mentioned at the show during the sale. And as always, we want people to patronize our sponsors. A lot of our sponsors will have vendor booths at the show and sale. So get here during the week, get through the vendors and meet some of these folks. I think you'll enjoy them. You'll need something to do. You'll get bored.
Yeah, I think you guys have so many things happening that weekend. I don't know that anybody could get bored.
Well, we're hoping so. We're hoping that everybody has a good time.
What time did you say the cattle drive was on Wednesday night?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay. Is there anything else as a sale host that you would like to let people know about that are attending the weekend?
Well, certainly. I consider the ITLA to be a very family-based organization. We like families. We like kids. We want everybody to have a good time. We want you to come down and enjoy yourself. Come and go as you please. Spend some time with people. Get to know folks that are in the industry. You know, I love to walk into the halter barn and see a halter heifer laying there, and the kid laying on the heifer asleep. You know, these guys really spend a lot of time with their animals, and people ask me all the time, what's it take to really get a halter broke animal and to get them well done and show them good? It takes a relationship with them. And you'll get a kick out of what relationship between kids and their animals. It's not only good for their show ability, but it's good for their learning responsibility and care, and it's just something that's exciting to watch. So I think there's a lot of aspects to this show that go on behind the scenes. It's not the glitz of the concerts and things that I think you'll really enjoy when you get to know some of these folks.
Well, I know earlier we mentioned concert tickets. Get those ahead of time. Because they may not be available at the door. What about any of like banquet tickets or anything? Do people need tickets for that?
They will need tickets for the banquet. If they want to come to the banquet, again, you could call the office for that. All that information is on the website at ITLA.com. And if you Google ITLA, you'll either get the International Texas Longhorn Association or you'll get the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association. If you get a lawyer, you could be at either place because our president's a lawyer too. So you just have to know which state you're in. But if you go to the ITLA website, all that information's out there. You call the office. You can get your banquet tickets ahead of time. There are some other things going on. There will be a live auction on Friday evening that will include some things like Corriente Saddlery has donated an amazing ranch saddle, a custom-built ranch saddle for it that'll be in the auction. There'll be a P&C, I think, Longhorn shoot in the auction. There will be some raffles throughout the course of the week for straws of semen on top-licked Texas Longhorn bulls. There'll be a silent auction with some Western products. There's a myriad of things to do that'll keep you involved.
Well, Gary, thanks for joining us today. It's been fun. Make sure to check out the ITLA sale consignments on Hired Hand Live and follow us for more updates. Until next time.
I like it. Jamie, thank you so much for what you guys do for the industry, for what you're going to do for us at the convention. We can't tell you enough how important you are to the Texas Longhorn industry.
Thank you. We're happy to help.